Hey, it's your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. We are going to add some humor into our understanding if someone is a personality disordered individual. And kind of in the same vein of the Jeff Foxworthy. Remember Jeff Foxworthy, you might be a redneck. For all you international viewers, shout out to you. We have a really funny U.S. comedian named Jeff Foxworthy. And he has a whole comedy bit where he talks about, you might be a redneck if. And, I just want to kind of make light and make some light assertions or quips here on the psychopath. And we'll do this on the narcissist so people can begin to not only identify, but begin to look at this individual with a light heart. Because I do really do believe and feel that you need to eventually have a light heart to let these people go, because oftentimes people feel so enmeshed with these individuals, it's very hard to let them go. They're very confused, they're so brainwashed, they're so gaslighted, they're so terrorized by these individuals that they really can't see the forest for the trees. They really can't see things clearly. They can't fear clearly. Their emotions are all in a multitasking with trying to stay and go and love and hate, and they're just so trauma bonded to this individual, which means they're so inexplicably ensnared and are so afraid of letting them go, and they're so afraid that they can't make it on their own. They have, like sea legs. They just can't stand on their own because of the lack of perception and the lack of clarity. So I want to give some sort of lighthearted quips here to help you understand. Now, you might be a psychopath if you cross other people's boundaries and make them think about you 24/7. You might be a psychopath if you are texting multiple girls, guys, bosses, whoever, just to get on their text list, just to try to get in attention and just get on their group emails so that you are included and you are making inroads wherever you need to go and receiving all the different texts so that you can know and piece together what reality you have to do to target people. You might be a psychopath if you constantly try to use your physical body, your sex appeal, your good looks to try to distract people from their work. You might be a psychopath if you try to violate people sexually while they're driving, while they're working, while they're having dinner, while they're drinking, or while they're sleeping. You might be a psychopath if you try to force people to do behaviors that they are not comfortable with, and you take an interest in overpowering them, and you think how interesting it is that you can overpower them. You might be a psychopath if you take a delight in seeing people suffer when they're supposed to be attending to certain values, needs, their own personal integrity, when you see them violate this in order to appease you. You might be a psychopath when you target and have visions in your mind of deliberate and calculating ways that you can distract, destroy, and make people feel insecure when they actually are very secure and you see that they have their game together. You might be a psychopath if you check out the environment and look for people who you can suck and supply for information, friendships, relationships, in order to protect you and provide a cushion around you so that you can use them for future reference to get what you want, where you want, no matter what it takes. You might be a psychopath if you try to break down people's homes or use different things in their environment and move them around to try to make them feel crazy, or plant things in their line of view so that it catches their attention and it makes them feel paranoid and suspicious, and you see that they are now attending and following your moves like little bits of popcorn on the ground, that you feel that eventually they are eating out of your hand. You might be a psychopath if you really don't care very much for others, but you really just care about winning them over, and winning them over oftentimes meaning that you hurt them in order to get what you want. You might be a psychopath if you try to alienate others and not validate them for the people that they are, but use little depersonalizing comments and not really call them by their name or recognize them with true support and nurturing or true understanding and respect for what they have done to get what they are. In other words, you respectfully disrespect them even when you are being supportive of them. You are giving them a sort of glare and a sort of look that you know that tends to melt them or break them down, and you know that you have this ability because you've done it before and you do it again and again. You might be a psychopath if you find that you need to get into your wife's phone, your boss's office, your boss's file cabinet. You might need to make relationships with certain important influential people so that you can relay information and get more information that you need that will take you to the next level, even if it means violating ethics or immorality. You might be a psychopath if you take on multiple sex partners and you're not really attracted to them. You just are interested in overpowering them. You might be a psychopath if you're very into seducing and charming people, and even though you don't have anything really worthwhile to offer them, you are just into the game of seduction and the mind games, the sort of sweet nothings that get them to fall into your hand and eat out of your hand, and you know that you're really not going to be there for them for the long run, but you just like the idea of seducing them. You might be a psychopath if you want to keep somebody up way past their bedtime or way too early and insinuate different things that you are thinking about them at this time, and you want them to be thinking about you too. Even though you really don't care that they're thinking about you, you just want them to be distracted, and you just want to break them down and know that they are exhausted, broken down, and eventually they're going to give in at some point. And you think along these lines. You might be a psychopath if you feel that your good looks win people over every time. You might be a psychopath if humility and humbleness don't mean anything to you. You might be a psychopath if your national flag means nothing also. You might be a psychopath if you listen to moving music and it doesn't really move you. You might be a psychopath if you feel that you don't really have love, connection, empathy for others, so you just want to basically overpower them so they don't have to notice the fact that you don't really love, you don't really attach, you don't really connect with people. You just want to use intensity, and you'll use basically a whole slew of pathological lies to get them to basically pay attention to you and mistake that intensity for love and intimacy. You might be a psychopath if you dress in provocative ways or are revealing of your body parts in inappropriate times to get people distracted and addicted and on a sexual arousal, especially when it's inappropriate. I hope this video helps, and I hope it at least made you laugh, and I'm sure it actually is making a lot of you people cry right now. And it's a very serious and devastating, horrific relationship to go through. But I want you to understand that there are psychopathic people in this world who will do a grave and malicious amount of harm to very good, well-intentioned, and talented people. And these are the very people that they want to unravel, take down, and make you feel as if you are a nobody, as if you are a nothing, just to prove themselves right and to dominate and eliminate you from whatever strength you might have, whether it's losing your job, losing your finances, losing your home, losing your family. If they have caused this to be and distract these people, this is how they work, and that is how they are. And you have to realize that this is how they operate. You have to let them go. And if you're terrified, if you're frightened, if you're gaslighted, if you're brainwashed, and you're feeling to the point where you are so too scared to let them go, then that is a sign that you need to let them go. If you are too afraid to let them go because they might hurt you, you might feel like you're losing the most important person in your life, or the most important person is you in your life. And if you have lost perspective of that, if you have been distracted by this person, then realize you could be and might often be at the throes of a psychopathic manipulator. Peace and harmony with you here today. I hope these videos do help. Please help each other. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.